Well, just like that, it appears that this big threat of tariffs, an ongoing trade war, is as expected. And thankfully, I have said many times, not going to happen. It appears that the threat of April 2nd being the day that 25% this and 25% that is going to be a nothing burger. In fact, what it appears at this point to be is there is going to be a list of tariffs or threats of tariffs coming. We will then go to the appropriate countries, have a discussion, and if said countries, do whatever they're supposed to, tariffs will not be implemented. As I have said for the last 6 or 8 weeks when I was attacked online for talking about tariffs and not getting it, you can go back to my conversation with Taylor, I think 60 days ago, when that first Mexico and Canada tariff came into play. I told him before it happened that, dude, you're not getting it. This is not what he's doing. He wants to get, troops on the border. He wants to stop fentanyl coming from across the borders. It's just a big stick that is getting swung, and was right then, and we're right now. So I've been asked many times on this channel about what I hope happens with tariffs. And my answer has never changed. It was the same last year under President Biden. It is the same this year under President Trump. I believe that there are some sectors of the economy that we unwittingly have given to other countries that frankly don't like us. The clearest example I have of this is pharmaceuticals. The fact that we rely on China for the majority of our pharmaceutical production is somewhere between nonsense and crazy. So what would I like to see? If I had a magic wand, I would put tariffs on that stuff. That would encourage production in the United States or maybe in a U.S. ally. That is what I have hoped for since day one, and it appears, given the latest press announcements, that we are likely going to go that direction. Now, I think there are lots of other areas of the economy, like pharmaceuticals, where tariffs make sense. And there are lots of areas where tariffs don't make sense. So it wouldn't shock me if the stock market rips this morning. Could it be just a bounce, a dead cat bounce, a short squeeze? Who knows? We were very negative going into the week. So we'll see where this goes. But as expected, and I have said many times, I do not see these blanket tariffs happening. It's just a big stick, and we are going to go somewhere smaller. So, for example, it is very likely there's going to be a list of things like cars, microchips, and potentially housing materials that are exempt from tariffs. Shocking. I'm shocked. I'm not shocked. This is the game that has been playing out, and I've been calling for, thankfully, and it looks like it's going to go that direction. On the flip side, the communication, the lack of communication around the plan for tariffs has caused 72% of Americans to be worried about tariffs. Now, when you have 3 out of 4 Americans worried about tariffs, you are going to have slow consumer spending. You're going to buy less cars. You're going to buy less houses. You're going to buy less furniture. You're going to have less investments in small businesses. It undoubtedly has created an air pocket. But as we get through this week and we get through April 2nd, which is next week, and we see that the tariffs are more sniper rifle than shotgun, we'll be in a very different place. I did see that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has proposed banning pharmaceutical ads on TV. I don't know if you guys know this. I've traveled to many other countries and worked in other countries. And most other countries that I have been to, most of those in Europe, a few in Asia, they don't have pharmaceutical ads on TV. So, I don't know where you come down on this, but I'm like, get those things off the TV. That's fine by me. And again, I don't know anybody that takes those pharmaceutical ads and goes, hey, doc, can I get this? It's just a way to grease the wheels of media, in my opinion. So get pharmaceutical ads off TV. That would be fine by me. Let's talk about the CEO of Lennar, Stuart Miller. He says that higher for longer equals weaker for longer. Again, Stuart came out, I think, 60 or 90 days ago saying we are going to do pace over profit. You could see that Lennar, I have it down here somewhere, took 17% margin hit in the latest quarter, almost 18%. Or I'm sorry, I got my numbers wrong. Let me rewind. Lennar took 13% margin hit in the last quarter. The high was 2009 when it was 18%. So again, 13% last quarter, 18% was the high in 2009. Again, weaker for longer. So what does this mean for the big public builders? Well, my guess is they're going to slow down. They are going to build slower. Now, could that be layoffs? Probably. Would it mean less land buying? Probably. So again, it just all feeds on itself. I do want to apologize for everyone. Yesterday, we did do our live at 8 a.m. inside school. I think we had 20 or 25 people join. I, unfortunately, 100% my mistake, forgot to hit the record button. So it was not recorded. Thus, it will not be posted. So thanks for the people that were there live. And I apologize to the folks that were looking for the recording. Nothing I could do. My error, my mistake. I'll try to do better next time. I do want to thank Alex, James, and actually Renee for joining school. Renee goes down as the first affiliate. We did announce a 40% affiliate, so you can make $8 referring your friends. So Renee, thank you for that. Alex, James, welcome to the party. I did get a question from school in a private message that I thought we should talk together on. I'll obviously keep the names out of it. The basic message was, Michael, I was planning to buy an investment property here shortly. Let's define shortly as in the next 2 to 3 months. But because of extenuating circumstances, whatever those are, like they could be lots of things, I won't be able to buy something until Q4 of 2025. The basic question is, will I miss opportunities? And the answer is no. I believe we are going to be, generally speaking, in a buyer's market much of the year. I do believe that there are some, pain coming, especially in the small multifamily you've heard me talk about. That's where I'm shopping. There's obviously some growing pain in the FHA delinquencies, which will lead to some short sales and stuff. So no, I don't think you need to rush. I certainly don't think you need to stress out. I wouldn't worry about it for a minute. Part of this game is knowing when you can buy and buy right, buy comfortably. There will be great deals at the end of 25, just like there are great deals today. It always takes work. You're not going to pay list price. You're going to have to write lots of offers. They're going to do lots of follow-up. Nothing changes. But yeah, if you can't buy now because of whatever reason, you got to buy late, that's fine. Just keep doing the work. Keep looking out. And, there'll be plenty of opportunities. In fact, if you follow my channel for any length of time, you know that I typically do deals between October and January 15th. That is where I did an audit years ago, and well over 70% of our deals closed between October 1st and January 15th. Again, I don't mind buying in Q4. We did have another amazing accountability group led by Jared. They talked about rent by room, primary purchases, build to rent, house hack, short-term rental design, property taxes, and recasting loans. Folks, if you're interested in real estate investing, you got to join the school community. We've got 350 plus folks. We got 6 different accountability groups. Join the one that fits your time. We'll do more live sessions with me as appropriate. But yeah, really love what's going on there. I'm getting more and more notes from folks about the FHA foreclosure wave. You might be following Melody Wright or some of her similar folks who have been talking about the FHA delinquency rate, their book being horrible. We have seen FHA delinquencies spike. This is interesting for a couple of reasons. As Mark Zandi highlights, it's one of those leading indicators for recession watch, because again, FHA mortgage delinquencies typically are on the lower income scale, the ones that are stretched the most. So watching the FHA mortgage delinquency could give you insights on what might be coming. What I would tell you is, for whatever reason, President Biden, at least under President Biden's administration, there were lots of, I don't know what to call them, I guess foreclosure, forbearance programs where servicers would just take the debt, slap it on the back, and get paid. That seems to be abused, I think would be a fair word, and we're stacking up. Those foreclosures are coming. Those will be released. Will it be this year or next year? Don't know, but they're certainly coming. I would skill up if I was a new investor on something called NODs, notice of defaults. Might be doing some mailers to these, because again, they will eventually come. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of folks that are kind of there for opportunity. Simon Property Group apparently is another big company like Tesla leaving Delaware. They're citing concerns over meritless litigation, which I thought was interesting. Delaware used to be the state everybody wanted to incorporate. Now, thanks to a couple of judges, apparently companies like Simon Property Group are leaving en masse. Folks, I don't know if you heard the great news, but one and only Dion is speaking at Bigger Pockets. In fact, Dion, I believe, I could be wrong, but he is keynoting day 2. He is keynoting day 2. I do believe he has a discount code if you want to go to Bigger Pockets in Vegas. I believe it's Dion, Dion 50. So if you want to see our boy Dion on stage in all his glory, Dion 50, get you $50 off. Again, Bigger Pockets in Vegas. Oh, day 3, I'm being told. I didn't know it was 3 days. There you go. Day 3. See, you guys are more informed than me. What else do we got? Something I announced at the end of our conversation with Dan Bird yesterday. I actually broke down and did something I never thought I would do. In fact, I've said it on this channel repeatedly. I will never do this. Well, good old Timmy Waltz pissed me off. Timmy Waltz pissed me off. I saw him on X celebrating the fall of Tesla stock, celebrating the fall of a U.S. company's valuation. And for whatever reason, in the moment, that pissed me off. And I bought Tesla stock Friday morning at the open. So I think I'm up 10% already. So Timmy, thank you for pissing me off. I appreciate that. We did get some economic data the first of the week, the S&P Flash Services and Flash Manufacturing. Again, we'll do service. I would do manufacturing first, smaller part of the economy. Previously, it was 50.9. Remember, folks, anything over 50 is good. Under 50 is bad, contraction versus expansion. So last month, 50.9 was forecast to come in slightly lower at 50.6, and it came in at 50.3. So still expansion, but concerning. Slowed down more than expected. I don't think I would feel good about that number, even though it is 50 plus. But now what about services? That is obviously the largest part of our economy. Previously was 52.9, was forecasted to fall to sub 50. That is bad. 49.7. Actually came in at 51. So again, on the right side of 50. So a good news there. Joseph Wang, again, been on the channel several times. Follow him on X or Twitter. He also has his own YouTube channel, Fed Guy. On X, I think he's Fed Guy 1 2. He's talking about the credit markets looking to be supported by banking deregulation and the perspective of big cuts. Yeah, I don't know if I see big cuts. But again, Joseph Wang, far more focused on the economy, far more focused on the Fed. So when in doubt, follow Joseph Wang would be my suggestion. Google searches for the word recession spiked more than 100%. What does that mean? Well, again, as I have shared with you for the last 30 years or so, I've studied the consumer. And the consumers do things in mass. And right now, as we've said earlier, 72% of Americans are worried about tariffs. We all now have folks worried about a recession. The answer is really simple, folks. They're going to sit on their ass and do nothing. They're not going to buy homes. They're not going to buy cars. They're not going to go to restaurants. When consumers are scared, they contract. Now, as we kind of open with, now that perhaps the tariff threat of world trade wars are over, maybe now that that starts to hit the airwaves, consumers will feel better. But that will not be an overnight thing. It will take some time. So it is not surprising that consumers are afraid of tariffs, again, 72%, and they see recessions coming, a spike. What does that mean? That means you and I have less competition. That's all it means. Every time the consumers get scared, they don't participate. That means you and I get the opportunity to go shopping. Now, when I say go shopping, let's be very clear. I mean shopping for great deals. We are not paying list price. We are getting seller credits. We are getting 15, 20, 25, 30, 35% off. We are only buying from motivated sellers. Folks, in 2025, as I've said on the Ryan Pineda podcast, investors are the only winners because we do the work. We find the motivated sellers. We know what makes sense, and we will strike while everybody else is scared. Folks, if you need more of this goodness, join our school community. It's only 67 pennies a day. 6 different masterminds, accountability groups, thousands of dollars in free education at level 2, level 3. If you want to learn how to do a buy box, you can go to my Teachable $50 course on Teachable. Oh, here's a giveaway for you. If you want to go buy the 2025 or 2024, what was it? 2025 ORAT replay, the one where we had Graham Stephan and all of the lumberjack and his wife Ashley and all those folks talk, I will give you the 2024 version. So if you go buy it, it's $99. It's the same price that you would have paid if you wanted to attend live. But I will also give you the 2024 as a free thank you. So $99 to get four days of ORAT replays, both 24 and 2025. So hope you enjoyed that. Hope you think that is a good thing. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Later.